Wow, I was absolutely glued to the TV yesterday. Couldn't take my eyes off the Labour drama. I thought, I can't do that again today. I must do activities. I did also actually put loads of stock in the shop. And I found this app, right, and it was a special offer for about $30, I think. It might have been GBP, I can't remember, for the year. And it puts your garments on a model. And the first models I was using, I just thought it was, that I had to use their models. They were fine. They're a bit bland, a bit boring. And then I saw a button where it said, create your own. So the ones that I created myself, you can say stuff like catwalk, makeup, jewellery, this, you can put in how big you want them, curvy, slim, athletic. The men, I did get some nice men, guys. I really did. I think using the templates, you get these, I don't know, the faces were kind of overly chiseled. Do you know what I mean? That overly chiseled look. However, I did really enjoy seeing my men's shirts in AI men. So the day before, I'd done an AI man on Grok. So this is another AI thing, not specialising in clothes. I like Grok a lot, and I like the pictures that they're doing me, but you've got to be quite clever with your prompts, and you get to know what they're stupid at and what they're good at. And there's still a lot of trial and error with AI. I think that's the difficulty for all of us who are using it. A lot of trial and error. Oh, I should say all of us who are using it creatively. Because it doesn't think, because it just strips from everything else. It doesn't think in sort of nuanced ideas, or it's a standardized. It's even if you put in, an age that wasn't quite so standardized, like 95, say, because there's not that many 95-year-olds going around putting their photos up on the internet. This is where they're stripping it all from. You said 95, 30 stone, with one leg. I think it might be slightly more on target, but where there's already a lot of information, it's just stripping from, a sort of avalanche of internet photographs over the last 20 years. It standardizes it all, so it takes it down to a standardized idea of what beauty is, etc. And they look weird. I mean, I don't think we need to worry about competition from AI. And I can't wait till AI does all the glamour photography necessary. And that's when I'll get my AI twin. And I won't ever have to take my clothes off. Not that I've been taking my clothes off ever. But, you see young girls playing musical instruments, and they're doing it in mini skirts. You think, why are you doing that? Well, there's only one reason why you're doing that. It's, it's to attract clicks. And men definitely, and women possibly. Women click on attractive women as well, because they want to look like them. They want to know what the secret is, etc., etc. It's really interesting, I think. Anyway, I'm digressing as normal. So I used these models and I put them on my shop, and the vibe kind of changed. I'm not sure. I'm not quite 100% sure if that's what I want, but it's done now. So there are about, 15, 20 of these models on there. So I'm going to do a little experiment and see if they get more views and more watchers and that sort of thing. I mean, I could recreate a background that is similar and use a picture, that is always mine. So it's a little bit more interesting maybe. But then you think, right, well, what you want is you want people to click on the thumbnail. This is the secret. And I know this through, my artwork. Some of my artworks really don't translate in the thumbnail. They need to be, 4 foot high so you can see the intricacy of the work that I do. So in a thumbnail, you lose all this expressive, the whole expressive point. So clickbait for artists is, standardizing yourself into a sort of 1 inch square. And of course, I've done an exhibition about this, haven't I? With the dominatrix and all that. That was about this 1 inch square of communication, as opposed to the human, the human that you speak to, watch, touch, move in the vicinity with, like a dance. Life is a dance, isn't it? I always think that. Anyway, I got up today at about 4:45. So involuntarily, I have joined the 5 a.m. club today and yesterday. I woke up at 4:30 yesterday. I've got a lot on my mind. I think, there's a lot to do. Off to mum's in a bit. In the meantime, I have done a pole dance class. I should say pole fitness. I'm really enjoying the more dance aspects of pole, to be honest. I'm thinking to myself, what do I want out of doing this pole? And I do want to be a dancer, an old dancer rather than an old pole dancer. But I really like pole as well. I love the strength that it can give me and all of that. But I'm definitely keen to combine those two things more, in a more engaged manner, in a more purposeful manner, I suppose is what I'm saying. Anyway, I did my pole dance /pole fitness class. It's quite a long one as well. I've washed my braids, which takes a long time. I've got a whole head of braids and they have to be meticulously seen to. So I've done that. I've had my breakfast. And, guys, the best thing of all, well, it's sort of best and worst, the cat was sick on my bed, which is infuriating. So let me come back to the water in a minute. So he's got a condition, right, with his stomach where if he eats too quickly, he just brings it all up again. So I'd obviously left too much. I try and his food is on a big tray, a long tray, and what you do is you spread it really thinly across a large area, right? And I think I forgot yesterday, or I accidentally put more on. And when I say more, it might only need to be 2 more than I would normally. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I woke up and I thought, oh God, I know he's been sick, and he must have woken me up. And so I had to change the bed and bleach everything. So I've done that. This 5 a.m. club, it's 7:20, and I've just sat down for my cup of hot water. I'm in my clean, absolutely bleached to the end of the earth bed. Having animals, they are so dirty. My mum always says this. You can't get away from it. No matter what, they're going to soil your house. If it's not cat fur, it's poop or vomit. You have to think really carefully about, do you want that in your house? I saw this thing on TikTok yesterday, and let me get back to the water first. The water, so I've been drinking purified water for the last 2 weeks. I feel like it's changed my life. Honestly, guys, I feel like it's changed my life. My skin looks gorgeous. My aura is returning to pinks and oranges from blues. I really believe in this new thing. And once you delve into it, you realise how much poison is in the water. And I thought to myself, when I change his water, which is every day, but as soon as I've changed it, he glugs it down really quickly. And I thought, well, I wonder if the water is not agreeing with him. So now the cat's on purified water as well. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll let you know. Anyway, yes, think very carefully before you have a pet. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The TikTok thing, right? What they're doing on TikTok is really annoying. They're doing these sort of crime stories, but they split them into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and it's so annoying because you have to go to their bloody profile and find the relevant part, and you want the story in one fell swoop. Thank you. You want to know what they found frozen in the freezer. Well, I will tell you what they found. They found 24 frozen cats in the freezer, and there were dog skulls in the garden. And there was a little girl, she was 9 or 10, and the house was just a mess, and it was covered in cat poop. And some of the cats looked as if, this might have been, dramatic effect, but the guy said it looks like they've been put in there while they were awake. I thought, oh my God, what's sicko? So don't have a pet if you're not prepared to clean up after them and be really lovely to them. Because even though, my cat gets on my nerves all the time, he's so bloody needy. And every time I'm trying to do something on my laptop or my iPad, he's decided that now, after I've had him for about 6 years or something, and he hasn't sat on my knee once, now when he sees I get my iPad out, he's decided to sit on me. I mean, obviously it's, a ruse. He doesn't really want to sit on me. He just wants me to stop what I'm doing. But if I'm doing something really busy and really intense, it's the most infuriating thing ever. But I just let him. And actually, I know it's good for me to put it down, because what it means is I've probably not been giving him enough attention. I mean, when I'm doing these broadcasts, I'm sitting here stroking him, and, he loves it. So he loves it when I do a podcast because I've got a free hand. I've got phone in one hand, free hand in the other. What's she going to do? Looks like it's my turn. Anyway, what have we got today? So, piano lesson in a minute. New videos going up on, I don't know whether this OnlyFans thing. I put up my certificates yesterday as my my cover. You get that banner at the top. I thought, I am ordained and I want people to see the paperwork. So I put those up. But I still haven't quite acclimatized myself to what it is I want to do on there. Do I want to put my life's work? But then, I'm a musician and I'm ordained, and I thought, is this a gimmick? Well, of course it would be, wouldn't it? It would be a gimmick. And I don't like gimmicks. I kind of prefer something that has a bit of depth and a bit of meaning. Having said that, I do loads of gimmicky stuff. I do, but it's never satisfying. It's like junk food, It doesn't give you great job satisfaction or anything. It gives you like 2 seconds of attention and then it's gone. So, as a person who's actually very serious, I'm very creatively serious as well. And I don't do creative things. Not my serious work. I've done loads of creative stuff that isn't my serious work to try and get, the marketing stuff and all of that. That's all really gimmicky and narrow-minded, isn't it? It's horrible. It doesn't have any satisfaction, any depth, any enjoyment doing it. And because I've been marketing for the last few days for the new shop and everything, I sort of feel all marketed out. And the people say artists, are good at making art, but they're rubbish at marketing. And I was thinking about this and I was thinking, yeah, but it's not because they're actually innately rubbish at marketing. It's because innately marketing is so bloody boring. It's the most boring thing on earth and it takes you away from your real work. So anyway, I was thinking about sacred music, and I'd really like to do experimental sacred music. It's hit me today and I thought that would so work, with my Reverend Bloom stuff. It would all fit together, the enlightenment through music. So I'm going to think about that today and maybe do some research and see what sort of sacred music comes to the 21st century. What would I do? And then obviously I can combine it with my dance and my choreography. So that's where I am today, guys. Another rabbit hole, completely different to where I was last week, which is why I love my brain, even though it's, it's in its autistic form. An idea comes like on an arrow, a burning arrow, and it's like bang into your cerebral cortex. And then it's, yeah, here we go. This is a really good idea. This is so much better than boring old bloody marketing.